decision. We need to give them clarity. 6 months is enough time for Congress to do this, and Congress needs to actually do it their job, pass real legislation, and not have this cloud hanging over, or countdown watch hanging over these DACA individuals for even longer than they already have.
So, Maria, is Ben right? I mean, look, Congress doesn't really often do anything unless it's under a deadline. Is that what's come out?
Well, he is right that we've needed a legislative solution for a very long time. But let's remember what happened in 2012 and then in 2010. In 2010,
right,
there was a bill in Congress, the DREAM Act, that was essentially passed by majority Democratic support with very few Republican support. And there was a filibuster by the Republican-led Senate that then killed it. In 2013, there was a bill on John Boehner's desk as comprehensive immigration reform, which is the ultimate solution here to fix both the Dreamers and issues that we face from an immigration standpoint. John Boehner refused to bring it to the floor because he refused to pass a bill that would majority Democrat support and perhaps maybe 15 to 20% support from sensible Republicans who understand this is not just the right, the moral thing to do, but it is the smart thing to do long-term politically for their party. I do think it is up to Congress now. If the president comes out and makes this heartless decision, which I do think will be heartless if he does, and he puts it on Congress's table, if they come back with a solution and a bill, will he sign it? He continue to kowtow to the most anti-immigrant supporters that he's been doing thus far.
Go ahead, Ben.
Kate, it's not heartless. It's not heartless to ask Congress to do their job. It's heartless for Congress to not give clarity to dreamers who have been waiting. And let's also be clear, Democrats were in charge of the House, the Senate, and the White House, almost had a supermajority. If you're going to rip on John Boehner and others, you got to at least be intellectually up to rip on the Democratic leadership when Nancy Pelosi had the votes and a president to sign it, and Democrats chose not to have a tough vote to protect themselves. So I go back to the point. I'll criticize Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
It is true. They were in charge of the House, Senate, and the White House, and they purposely chose to punt on immigration issues. And
but
that's
here's
a fact.
the problem.
Sure. With this 6-month delay, is that showing, do you see compassion in that? I mean, he has the power to just say,
so
it's over, we're done.
It would be uncompassionate to just end it tomorrow. He's saying, do your job, Congress.
But if there was real compassion, what he would do is say, Congress, do your job. As soon as you pass something and put it on my desk, I will sign it, and then DACA will essentially be a... Why not do that?
That's
Why
what he's saying with 6 months to pass legislation.
He's ending it. He is ending it with a 6-month delay, Ben. Why do you want to
instill... No, he's saying, Congress, do your job, because I'm not going to have a timeline.
Why do you want to instill fear in 800,000 immigrants, many of whom are summa cum laude, many of whom have served in our military and bled and died for us? And this is a president that says he wants to show heart.
I know the viewers can't because I can't hear both of you the same. Let me just ask this. If 6 months expires and Congress doesn't act, Ben, is the president really capable of washing his hands of responsibility here? You're saying you think it would be mean if the president just ended it tomorrow and didn't have any and didn't tell Congress to do his job. But is the president really blameless here if 6 months from now nothing's
you've got to end. Here's the thing. You've got to end the charades of this insanity of putting a stopwatch among heads and saying, okay, we're going to extend you, and the fact that you can get a job or go to school for another couple of years, but then it may end again, and then you may be in the same situation. That is not fair to those people. Congress's job is to pass laws, sign those laws, or veto them. There's been no indication from this president that he's not going to be compassionate or somehow veto.
Well,
and so what the president's saying here is this. You've got 6 months to get your act together, because I'm not going to keep this insanity going. Do your job, get the legislation passed, and let's give some clarity to these young people that were brought here by their parents against their will or without their knowledge. They were too young to understand what was going on. Let's be compassionate. I'm in favor, by the way, of a pathway.
Yeah, that's great, Ben. So here's a critical question for you. So are you saying that if tomorrow Congress let's say they pass the bill in the Senate, they pass the bill in the House, and they put a bill on the president's desk on Thursday, a pathway to citizenship to these 800 or 1.5 million, actually, is how many Dreamers there are in the country. Will he sign it? Will he sign it? Or will he kowtow to his anti-immigrant wing?
Again, listen to what the president said about these Dreamers and about those in the DACA program. He has said we need to have compassion. There's a lot of Republicans that say the same thing.
I agree.
You know this. Congress, this is what I think Congress should do. They should have a very simple bill, a very simple vote on this, and make it very clear without putting in all the other crap that Congress loves to put in bills to screw things up or to make it where it doesn't actually get to the president. And the president has said, you've got 6 months to do it. Do your job in the next 6 months, and I think that's the right play for the president. It shows compassion to these individuals, and it doesn't keep them wondering what's going to happen in their future.
I'm only laughing because here's one thing that I know with almost certainty is that simple passes Congress these days, no matter how simple the bill is.
They're awful at their job.
That's right. And I agree. I love in fact, I love everything that Ben is saying. I hope that he is as optimistic this week. And hopefully we can get this done.
First things first, the president's words tomorrow, I say it all the time, take them literally and take them seriously, including on this issue tomorrow. Let us see. Great to see both of you. Out front next. Breaking news, Hurricane Irma churned